G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Stuff and Such. Today we're going to be tinkering on the rx7320. I have a little issue I need dealt with, and I thought maybe you guys might want to know also. If the audio is absolutely horrendous, I'm sorry. I have kids, so I'll let you use your imagination what happened to my audio system. So I'm using kind of what I can scratch together, and it could be horrible. So excuse the wind noise and I'll do my best. Today we're brought by Daddy. So on the back of the tractor is the 7-pin connector. I have it off right now, and it plugs into this little doohickey, and it will power up. What's the power up? Powers up left, right signal light, tail lights, running lights, and whatever. So I'll bring you back to the bench over here and bring the 7-pin with me and have a chat over there. Okay, so what happened the other day is I went over to the neighbors there and hooked up to his baler, and his baler has a monitor on it. Plugs into this little contraption that's in the back, and it's supposed to provide aux power to his monitor so that I could bale, but for some reason this thing won't provide power to that monitor. So we temporarily hot wired it, grabbed power directly from the battery, and ran power that way. However, that's really farmer-like, and I try not to live up to the farmer reputation of being absolute hacks. So I've decided to start working on my 7-pin and figure what the deal is. So I'll get up here and close and personal. Don't mind my personal space. I don't have a mask on, but you'll live. So the top one is your negative. The middle one is your aux, auxiliary power. And the rest of them do something. So I think this one's left signal light, that one's right signal light. One of them is tail lights and whatever. But anyways, so the point is, the ground works, the aux doesn't, the left and right signal lights do. This one had power, and I think that one had power, but this one didn't have power. So another problem, or not maybe problem, but so I pulled all this out of the tractor, and you'll see here they've glued together this black one, which was I think tail lights, and the blue one together, which is the aux, and the white wire is the ground, and you'll notice it's substantially bigger. So because I don't want to start blowing fuses and burning out wires and having catastrophic failures, what I'm planning on doing, I'm going to nip this wire here, unscrew it, yank that little thing out, and then I'm going to run power directly to it from a power source that I've yet to determine. And I may also throw in another ground and run it to the frame, just so it provides its own ground, because getting long-winded here, but so this side of the plug, there's a nice big ground, and I'll turn you over to the tractor. So then on the tractor side over here, there's no big wires at all. So one of these is a ground, and it is this one up here, so top right. So it's this little black one here in this top right corner. That is your ground. That'll provide ground for, so if you have your flashers on, your work lamp on, you have your, and this is on the trailer side, so you can have a whole bunch of lights running at once, and that little ground isn't going to hold it. However, so how do I explain this? The ground provides a ground for all the wires that send power. However, the wires are all often have individual fuses, so you can provide lots of power, but you can't provide lots of ground, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to add an additional ground. I might just screw it into the frame here. I think it'll be okay. I'm not sure. I'll have to see if there's another ground somewhere on this tractor. Although, I'm not sure. It might actually be plastic. Or I might run a ground down onto the chassis, or onto the steel chassis of the tractor or something. We'll figure it out. So a quick little update here. I don't know. I'm not going to take time to check. But I do wonder if, being as that they spliced it and did a really cheap way of getting power, I wonder if that would have actually worked if I turned my headlights on. Which, if that's the case, that's an embarrassing way to wire something. But anyways, so you can try that if you're watching this to try it. I'm not going to waste my time with that. Anyways, let's carry on. So the next thing we got to do, is because we're cheap, and we have no electrical wire just kicking around, got to go steal some off our old junker vehicle. So we'll hop in our useless, gutless Honda CRV and go get some. Alright, so there's the old junker. Where it goes from there. Alright, I got us a couple chunks of wire here. Let's head back the old kioti. Alright, we're back. Now the power one is going to be the harder one of the two. Ideally, I would hook it into underneath the main panel box. This is where we're working down here. It's really no good way to hold your camera. So up in this one corner, I have this 30 amp power, and that's these big wires here, and I think that's also them, man, down here. Looks like them anyway. Same color pattern. That's them there. You'll have to forgive me, I didn't get to show you a bunch of stuff. I'm fighting with the batteries on my camera. So I just give you a quick overview of what I've done. This is what I've done here. You'll see here, I nipped off that little wire because I think it's pitiful. I inserted this nice heavy, I forget what gauge that would be. And so I inserted that into the center plug. Whatever. And then on my ground, I left the existing ground still in place. And then I've also added this heavy one and mounted them all in there. And you can tell these plugs, they're meant for some serious amperage. Big holes in them. And then I just basically just threaded it down the loom, whatever the heck it's called, until it came out the bottom. And then this rubber boot will just slide back into place over it all. Like so. Nice waterproof little container. Then we'll bring you over to the tractor. So the tractor just goes back together for now. So there's nothing we need to be doing in here. So take these wires, pull them out and down. Stick that back through there. So the reason I'm somewhat hesitant to just put a screw right there in the ground is because they have this entire top is mounted on rubber boots. So I don't know if they've actually ran a ground to this thing. So ideally I'd tap into something that's attached to the axles or something down there. So we'll just get that back in there for now. So up under the dash, or under this little apron, or whatever the heck you want to call it, there's a same as these tabs up here. Or you see this one? They're just little bendable little fingers. So you just go along and bend them back in to hold up the wire. So there's those little foldable fingers I was telling you about. Just tuck that up there. Squeeze them back in. So we're going to be going down and up. So we're going to be fishing down. We were just over here below, be coming and back up. And I have these little power takeoff splices. So the nice thing about these things is it will still provide power to this whatever that's going to. And I don't actually know what it's going to. They call it a 3-pin socket. And I have no idea what that is. I kind of wonder if that's what they call a cigarette lighter over in Hong Kong. So I don't have one. I have a feeling I should have one down here, but I don't. So I'm going to go fish that wire up and we'll grab it and splice it into there. Come on. The bad part about this thing is that I'm going to end up losing the ability to put my cap back on. However, it is a pretty watertight system, so I'm not overly worried. It's just something to be aware of. Otherwise, you could get one of those connectors. They are like two halves that close and then you drive a spade through them and it splices off power, but I really don't like them. So over here, I'm going to attempt to do that. Actually, change of plans. I'm going to cut this end off, stick it down through, and then heat wrap them together. Alright, so we're down to the last stage here. We're just going to look for a ground to basically reground this plug to the frame, and that'll give it plenty of ground for the implement, and that way we shouldn't really have to worry about things acting funny, because a weak ground can make things act really goofy, because things will sort of work, sort of glitch and turn on and off, and typically things will start to burn out. So I found a good spot that I really think will be a good spot for the ground. It's nice and close. So there's this little bolt here. Let's turn the screen to make sure I'm showing you. Yeah, there's this little bolt that holds on this bracket for the remote lever. So I'm going to just run that wire down to right there and bolt her on, and that should give it an excellent ground. It's part of the hard metal right to the battery. So I think that's going to be the ticket. So we'll slap that on there together, and then we'll do some testing and make sure things were working kind of normal. And if they are, then we'll call her all a success. So what I'm using on this little adapter, or little whatever you call it, is a you squeeze it on, you crimp it on. Now you're supposed to have a special tool, and I don't have said special tool handy, so today is this lucky day for this piece of equipment. It gets to be a crimper. Now the nice thing about these ones, but it is blowing 105 mile an hour out here, is, hang on wind, is they are heat shrinked on there, but I'm gonna have to get some more horsepower. There's that. And that'll just bolt right like there. First thing I do is start it, make sure it starts still. Okay, so we have our one blinkers on. Now my test light here is an unfortunate set of circumstances. I've lost mine, so I've made one. So this will be the ground. That goes on that top pin. Now the first I'm going to test is the aux. There we go. So the aux now has power. Let's check the blinker that we got going. Yeah, this is why you shouldn't lose your tools, people. There we go. All right, so that works, guys. Now we're going to do a fun little test here, and I'm going to see if that aux power is turned off with the key on the off position. All right, folks, we got the power off on the key off. Let's see if we have any power to that aux cable, or that aux terminal, and we do not. Perfect. Boom. Alright guys, I'm going to have to sign off here. The project went really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. If I missed a bunch of stuff with filming, I apologize. I've been fighting with my camera all day. Forgive me for that. If I missed something and you have a question, feel free to ask. I'll try and either let you know in the comments, or I will make a video for you. Also, if you have an rx7320 and you feel like just doing a test, see if that center auxiliary power in your pin has power when you turn your running headlights on. If that's the case, Coyote, you're an idiot. You shouldn't do things that stupid. But it would be good information for other RX owners to know, because I suspect that's what they did, and to me that's the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. But anyways, thanks for watching guys. Enjoy the hurricane, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care guys.